Well, I wonder what your reaction would be if a friend said to you, I've got this old boat cooker. It's in a bit of a state, but you're welcome to have it. So I thought, okay, I've never taken one to bits before. I know the burners can be a bit tricky. So I said I'd take it. And this is the story of my refurbishment by trial and by error. And little did I realise that my favourite tool would become this, which is a multi-tool, and in particular this, which was used to go down beside the stainless steel and saw off the nuts, because they'd all got corroded. You couldn't undo them, and it was occurring to me whilst I was doing this, would I be able to replace them, because they were British Standard Whitworth 3/16, but I managed it. And so join me on my story. It's a Taylor's 028 paraffin cooker. It's the one with 2 burners and then a heating underneath. It's not the one with the oven underneath. So let's see. So here I am in my man shed. I'm just looking at some stuff. So this all came out of the ultrasonic, and I've polished it up. So the reason it's looking so clean is it's been polished. These are the corner pieces. There was quite a lot of really pitted rust on the back, which I've had to grind off, and as a result of all the rust, the chrome has gone. So I'm going to leave those as an honest repair, as it were, in the words of the repair shop. And these are all the burners. So there were 2 burners on the cooker. To be honest, I was expecting them to come out of the ultrasonic cleaner looking as clean as this, and hopefully put together as well. But obviously I was expecting a bit much. But they certainly are clean, because the water was filthy. So I've polished everything up, including the control knobs, so they're all ready to go once I've finished with the ultrasonic cleaner. There's a load more stuff in there. It's quite big, so I'm having to do one end then turn it over. I suspect with some of it the middle won't be done at all, and I'll have to clean that by hand. But yeah, we're cracking on. So the moment of truth has arrived. Everything's been stripped down, ultrasonically cleaned, polished, and is ready to be reassembled here on the table. When I took it to bits, I had a pretty fair idea where everything went, because it all seemed very logical. I'm not so sure now, but it should be fairly common sense. That's the back, that's obviously the door, that goes above the door. These are the edges, these are the side hangers. So I'm hoping I've got enough screws, and there's all the burner bits, so wish me luck. Well, it's not quite finished. I've got to reconnect all the pipe work. For some reason I haven't bent it at all, but it doesn't seem to fit. Needs a bit of fettling for sure, but otherwise I think we're pretty much there. These haven't really come off as best as I can. That's all pretty good. Just waiting for the top. So the I've sent the top off to be re-enamelled. It was going to cost me, or is going to cost me, £120, which seems like a lot of money, but you can't really have a cooker without a top, and the old top was knackered. So it should set it off nicely, I'd say. Well, we're at that really frustrating part of putting it all together, where I've got the burners on, and I've managed to stop all the leaks. Now, that right hand one was leaking from the bottom, and took quite a lot of sorting out. This one didn't leak at all, but when I turned it on, it wasn't really doing very much. It was it would like go pop and then nothing would happen. So I let it all cool down, and then I replaced the burner jet and took the needle valve out and stripped the whole thread bit on the handle down, put it all back together again, fired it up, exactly the same problem. So I don't think it was the fuel, not fuel nipple, the burner nipple. I suspect it's probably the needle jet, because I don't think it's been used for about 10 years, and judging by the state of the cooker, that could be a problem. The other one is going, having solved all the leaks. You can't see it because it's too bright, but it's just like hissing on, like very low. Doesn't matter how much I turn it, it's just this little hiss and little blue flame. So I suspect that might need another needle jet, so I'll order a couple of those. Yeah, we're nearly there. I'll make a cup of tea on this. It kills me. So last time we spoke, the cooker had been reassembled, the burners were all in situ, but I was struggling to get a good supply of fuel through. When they're going well, they sort of go, and one of them wasn't doing anything, and the other one was burning like really slowly. So I have now received my burner jet needle pricking things, and I've got a couple of jets just in case, and then of course I've got the tools that you absolutely need, which is the burner jet spanner and this little thing. I'm too embarrassed to tell you how much this cost me from Blake's Tailor, but it wasn't cheap, and this goes under the burner to hold the nut. So I'm just about to try and change the burners. Well, no, I'm about to put the bits in so that they'll all go when I heat them. Right, there's smoke coming from the bottom, so I'm going to turn off the paraffin. I suspect that it's not the needle jet or the burner nipple. I suspect it's the fuel nipple. So I'm going to have to let it cool down, take it to bits, and play around with that. That's much better. I think when I dismantled the burner, all this dirty paraffin came out, so I can only assume that when I was doing the ultrasonic cleaning, some carbon that was maybe in the pipes and a little bit got stuck in the needle jet, sorry, in the fuel nipple. That's much better. Well, that's interesting. When I undid that burner, the one that had been burning like really slowly, all this dirty paraffin came out. This one, no paraffin came out at all, so I think we can definitely say it's the fuel nipple on this one. So I'm just going to change that and see if I can light that. Well, that was definitely the fuel nipple. How do I know? Because I forgot to turn off the main fuel cock, so when I undid the nipple, suddenly this geyser of fuel came through, and in the process washed out any impurities, hopefully. So it's all back together. I'm just going to clean myself up, and then we'll see if we can get it going. Well, here's a familiar sound. So that's working. You know there's a butt coming, don't you? The butt is when I turn the control all the way clockwise to close it, it doesn't close. It's fine when I turn it anti-clockwise to go on to kind of slow burn. So I'm thinking that what's probably happened is the needle jet isn't in quite the right place, so I think that's just a tiny bit of fettling. So I've got 2 working burners when I didn't half an hour ago. Well, today is a day I've been eagerly awaiting. If I'm not very much mistaken, this package marked fragile contains the cooker hob top and the 2 plates for the Taylor's heater I've restored. So this will be the ultimate icing on the cake. And here we have a newly enamelled hob top to sit on the newly cleaned hob. So I've just got to work out, because it's so long ago I took it apart, I've got to work out what goes where. Right, so I've got this, and I'm presuming that these sit through there. So far so good. They're not self whatever it is, so trouble is I can't remember. So they go there, and then as far as I can see there are 2 bolts there. Aha, so there you go. There's 2 holes through the top edge of the stainless, and there's probably bolts that go on there. Nearly there. Right, so I've turned it upside down, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've just got to find some. Those look like they might not be Whitworth. Well, let's see. I found some screws known as Aerotight lock nuts BZP, and so I've put those on, and then we've just got to put the hob on, which looks like it locates through there, and no doubt has the same Aero nut BZP holding each side down. So we are nearly there. So here we have one fully restored, gleaming in the sunshine. All the burners working. all the hob tops completely re-enamelled. A thing of beauty. Right, what next?